Hello, people. What's happening? Let's talk about nuclear energy today. All right. Um, the thing is I hear a lot of people talking about it's safe now. Like it's the green alternative, right? Um, a couple problems with that. A couple problems. And it is safer than it was. Um, I believe it's thorium reactors. Liquid salt thorium reactors are safer than uh, the reactors that we've been making that have rods in them. Those are the ones that can melt down with a malfunction. The thorium reactor, if there's like a meltdown, there's like a salt plug at the bottom that can melt, and then the liquid can run out into a holding pond, and that shuts down the reaction. I mean, that sounds pretty safe. But there are some, it's not totally safe. It's still making some pretty ugly radiation stuff, right? And then, but one of the pluses, I believe, it's been a while since I studied this, but the thorium reactor can use some of the waste that we have stockpiled all over the place, right? And I believe it can reduce it by, it can burn like 90% of it. So it does make sense to have a couple thorium reactors in order to burn the old nuclear waste that we have laying around, to reduce it down to 10%. So that does make sense, But building these thorium reactors, I believe, should be very limited. And now I'm going to tell you why. Even a thorium reactor could be subject to terrorism, right? Terrorism could be very bad. And I mean, what's better to blow up than a nuclear reactor? I mean, that'll mess up a city, a town, a state, a country. You can mess some things up. And so that's one big problem, just not to have them. Big reason not to have them. Another one is, we could get hit by a meteor anytime. Anytime. I mean, we know that happens. It happened to the dinosaurs, It happens, there's a couple in Russia, even not that long ago. We get small ones. There's the crater in Arizona. These things happen, right? And how about this? How about one, not a gigantic one big enough to kill us all, but just a little one, a little tiny couple 1,000 feet in diameter meteor impacts. And, it could blow everything up for 100 miles or several 100-mile radius, right? And what if there's 2 or 3 nuclear power plants there? And what if there's nuclear holding, nuclear waste holding facilities in that area? Then what? You can survive a small meteor, but if it blows up 4 or 5 nuclear power plants and some waste stations, that's a problem. I mean, that's a big, gigantic problem. And a very good reason not to have nuclear energy laying around. It's just too toxic. They're calling it green now. Oh, it's green energy. No, there's nothing green about it. Not in the long run. Not when you got to hold it for like 100,000 years. You got to have a safe place for it. Come on, man. Come on. That's not realistic. And then there's like Fukushima, right? I mean, somebody got fired at the very least, not executed perhaps. whoever engineered that so close to the water, where, we know we have tidal waves here, tsunamis here. We better put it at a safe elevation away from the tsunamis. They didn't think of that? Are you kidding me? So, and that, now, okay, years ago in California, the background radiation on the beaches in the water was 500 times the normal background radiation. Now, that's not a lot. That was a little bit, okay? But now, Fukushima is letting radioactive water out quarterly. Quarterly. How long, you ask for? Forever. Every, quarterly, forever and ever, thousands of years, whatever. That's the plan. That's the plan. So eventually, all the fish will have cancer or whatever. Right now, you don't even want to eat the fish in Hawaii. You don't want to even eat the fish anywhere anymore. It's radioactive, filled with plastic, filled with mercury. It's insane how badly we have polluted the world. But no. And no insurance company. Kennedy told me this the other day. I was watching him. No insurance company will insure a nuclear power plant. So the taxpayers pay to build a nuclear power plant, and then if anything happens, the taxpayers get to pay for the accident that happens. And then guess what? They decommission a power plant like 50 years after it's made, right? And the company, they only have to take care of it for, I don't know, some arbitrary amount of years, like 10 years. And after that, guess who takes care of it? The taxpayers get to take care of it for another 1,000 years or whatever it takes, So that's an insanely bad investment for the public. These companies, they make pretty good money for a while, for 50 years. The company can make a lot of money, but the public does not. Okay? And there are alternatives. I talked about it earlier. We need DC power lines all the way across the country. You do solar and wind energy in places like Arizona and Nevada, wherever. And DC power can transmit all the way across the country without losing power. And, we have these new type of batteries. We need to invest, the government needs to invest a lot more in battery technology. They're as big as shipping containers, liquid molten metal batteries, I think they're called. And that's a good idea. That's a good idea. And we already have, I believe, a DC power line going from Hoover Dam to California to get some electricity out there. It goes out DC and then they turn it into AC out there. I believe. I'm not sure. I'm not positive. After all, this is, cognitive, what is it? Whatever. Anyway, yeah. So that's about it today. I'm always supposed to tell you guys to, like and subscribe, and if you can share it, tell your friends, whatever. And I'll think of something else pretty quick. See you later.